Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's get started on the second scene of the Fazbear Files, Fazbear Frights. Toby and Kate made their way through some forest bushes as they snuck towards an old-looking building. Toby had a pair of orange goggles over his eyes and a face shield covering his mouth. Kate wore a white mask with 3 holes, presumably for eyes and a mouth. "I don't know about this, Toby," Kate said nervously. It will be fine, Kate," Toby assured his teammate. "I'll keep you safe." Kate scoffed. "Please, the last time when we went on a mission together, you got scared by a little mouse." "Mice carry diseases and rabies," Toby exclaimed, attempting to defend himself. "Just be glad that Slendy's able to heal you," Kate said. The two made their way over to the back door of the building. Toby looked over at Kate. "You ready?" Kate nods. Toby grabs the doorknob and turns it. And to his and Kate's surprise, the door wasn't locked. "Ladies first," Toby said, stepping aside. Kate rolled her eyes underneath her mask, and she walks in, Toby following close behind. "Remind me again, why are we here?" Kate said as Toby closed the door. "I heard about this legend about a serial killer getting trapped inside an animatronic," Toby explained. "I want to see if the legend is true." "Toby, I'm pretty sure that legend is just a myth," Kate said, bending her index and middle fingers at the word legend. "Well, I got on to see for myself," Toby persists. Kate sighs. "Fine, let's check this place out. But don't get too upset when you realize that no psychopath was stuck in a robot suit." "Animatronic, Kate. Animatronic," Toby corrected, walking down a hall. Kate shakes her head and follows Toby. They didn't notice the 2 glowing white orbs. Toby and Kate searched every single door and room, looking for the so-called murderer legend. Toby was thoroughly looking through all the rooms, while Kate just lazily scanned everything. "I'm telling you, Toby, there was never a killer in an animatronic suit," Kate exclaimed, starting to sound impatient. "That's just not it, Kate," Toby said, completely ignoring Kate's tone of voice. "They say that he destroyed 4 famous animatronics. However, they were not normal animatronics." Kate's face scrunched up in confusion. "What are you talking about?" Toby chuckles darkly as he smirked behind his face shield. "The murderer killed children." Kate gasped in shock. "Yep. They say that the killer's name is William Afton. After he killed all those kids, he stuffed them into the animatronics. But the tables were soon turned on William. By destroying the animatronics, he unknowingly released the souls of the dead children. They chased William into a room that had a golden bunny suit in it. William, out of desperation, put on the suit. In his arrogance, however, he didn't notice the rain dripping from the ceiling and onto the suit. Want to know what happened next?" Kate leans in a bit, giving Toby a look of expectance. The spring locks of the suit were triggered by both the rain and his movement, and mutilated his body. Kate was taken aback by that. "So he's dead?" "Not exactly," Toby said. "They say that the reason why William killed all those kids was because he was driven to insanity due to the fact that his son accidentally killed his little brother by shoving his head into an animatronic's mouth. The mouth snapped shut due to the child's tears soaking the spring locks." "Holy shit," Kate breathed. "Yeah," Toby nods. "That's not it. The little brother went into a coma for about a week before William pulled the cord, promising his son that he'll put him back together again. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds crazy." As Kate tried to process all the information, she saw something behind Toby. It was a pair of bunny ears. Toby?" Kate whispered. "What?" Toby asked, confused. "There's something right behind you." Toby tenses when he felt a hot breath on the back of his neck. He slowly turned around, only to be met with an axe to the hip. "Oh my God! Toby!" Kate screamed, her hands hovering over her mouth. The axe yanked out of Toby, who held onto his fresh wound. He looked up at the attacker. When Toby and Kate saw the assailant, their hearts almost stopped. What they saw was an animatronic rabbit with gold and green fur. What was horrifying was the dark stains all over its body, and the human insides that were visible to the 2 proxies. The animatronic stared at Kate and Toby with soulless silver eyes. His large, rotten teeth were in a seemingly permanent smile. "Toby, run!" Kate shrieked. Toby dodges another attack from the creature and dashes off with Kate. The teenagers run over to the door and tried opening it. It was locked. "What? Why is it locked?" Kate exclaimed, yanking harder at the doorknob. "That thing must have locked the door before attacking us," Toby suggested, looking over his shoulder. I can smell your blood, boy, the animatronic shouted, his heavy footsteps clearly audible. Shit! Kate hissed. Come on, we gotta hide, Toby whispers, grabbing Kate's hand. They ran down a hallway. The two see a door at the end of the hallway with a sign above it that read, Parts and Services. Let's hide in there, Kate said, pointing at the door. Toby nods and turns the knob. To his and Kate's relief, the door was unlocked. Toby opens it and allows Kate in before him. He closes the door and barricades it with his back. What are we gonna do? Kate asked. We should hide here till that thing goes away, Toby suggested. Why is it so dark in here? Kate said, squinting her eyes to try and see through the darkness. She scrunched up her nose when she smelled a foul odor. Do you smell that? Toby took some whiffs before immediately gagging. God damn! Why does it reek in here? We won't be able to find out if we don't turn on the light, Kate said. She suddenly tripped and fell with an oof. Oh, are you okay, Kate? Toby asked. I just tripped over something, Kate answered. Wait, I think I found the light switch, Toby said. Well, flip it, Kate exclaimed. Toby turns the light on, but nothing prepared the two for what they saw. Laying on the floor were 5 skeletons. What disturbed Toby and Kate the most was that the skeletons were those of children. Bits of flesh still hung onto some parts of the bones. Maggots and flies long made themselves at home in the carnage. The 2 living humans let out deafening screams of terror. Oh my god! Oh my god! Kate shrieked repeatedly. Toby just stood still, feeling like he was about to vomit. Who would do this? He whispered. Toby? Kate lifted her head up to look at Toby eye to eye. We need to find a way. Kate was suddenly cut off by something bursting from Toby's face shield. It was a hand. Toby's jaw dislocated and hung limply as he made gurgling sounds. Kate just stood in shock as Toby struggled to breathe. The arm pulled back, causing Toby to fall to his knees. He looked up at Kate with a stunned expression before falling over. He gurgled his final breath. Kate's hands shook. She screamed when the door was kicked open, revealing Toby's killer. The animatronic looked down at Toby's dead body. That felt good, he purred. He then looked up at Kate. Kate stared at the monster, her fear turning into rage. She clenches her hands tightly before charging at the animatronic. That was a huge mistake. Kate swung at the monster, but he caught her fist easily. He then turns her arm back so quick and hard that the bone snapped, and the broken edges stuck out. Kate released a blood-curdling scream of pain. The animatronic grabbed her throat and lifted her up in the air. She claws at her assailant's hand. The monster slowly lifts his hand up to grab his head. He pulls back his rabbit head and showed Kate something that chilled her to the bone and will forever fuel her nightmares. Inside the animatronic's head was a fleshy human skull with the silver eyes bulging from the sockets. Who are you? Kate managed to wheeze out. The monster tilted his head. I am Springtrap, he whispered. Kate went stiff as Springtrap plunged his hand into her chest. Kate spasms as Springtrap slowly pulled out her heart. Kate's vision darkened as Springtrap abruptly released his grip on her throat, causing her to fall to the floor. And the life in Kate's body left as Springtrap crushed her heart. Hoodie and Masky smashed a window in order to get into the building. Masky wore, a mask to cover his face. It was white with feminine eyes and lips. Hoodie had on a ski mask under his hood. Masky sighs. I can't believe Toby and Kate snuck out. That's why Slenderman told us to find them, Hoodie said. Well, he could have done it himself, Masky replied grumpily. He had to keep the hotel and Tobias safe from him. Hoodie, he said, shuddering at the end of his sentence. Masky jumps through the broken window, shortly followed by Hoodie. All right, let's get this over with. Both men took out their flashlights so they could see the inside of the building. The floor had a light purple color to it, with what looked like confetti. There were long wooden tables with dark purple tablecloths with silver stars on them. Hoodie and Masky noticed a stage. You think the employees entertain kids up there? Masky asked. Probably, Hoodie answered. Follow me. Masky and Hoodie tensed up at the sound of a deep male voice and heavy footsteps. What the fuck was that? Masky said, pointing his flashlight at a hallway. The duo gasped in shock and they saw a large purple robot walking down the hall. What is that? Hoodie said, looking confused underneath his mask. Masky scoffed as he rolled his eyes under his own mask. It's probably just Toby. Come on, let's go get him and Kate. Hoodie follows Masky down the hall. They shined their flashlights at the parts and services door. It was left open, presumably by the robot. Masky walks through the door and into the darkness of the room. Hoodie was right behind him when he noticed a metallic scent. Masky, do you smell blood? Hoodie asked. Yeah, Masky replied, but we went into a lot of rooms that smelled like blood. Why would this be any different? His question was answered when Hoodie flipped the light switch. The two masked killers gasped when they saw the corpses of Toby and Kate. Hoodie ran over to Toby and started shaking him. Toby? Toby, wake up! Masky was doing the same thing to Kate. Kate, wake up! Stop fucking with us! They turned the younger proxies over, but immediately regretted it when they saw the wounds. Oh, God, Hoodie muttered. What the hell happened to them? Masky exclaimed. Masky and Hoodie tensed up as they heard soft chuckling coming from down the hall. They turned their heads to see a silhouette of an animatronic, though it wasn't the bear. It was Springtrap. He was holding his axe, which was dripping with blood. Toby's blood. Masky grabbed the door and slammed it shut. What the fuck is that thing? Hoodie exclaimed. Don't know, but it must have been the one that killed Kate and Toby, Masky predicted. The door was then kicked open. Hoodie and Masky backed away as they beheld Springtrap. I take it you two are here for them, Springtrap guessed, pointing his axe at the two corpses. Did you kill them? Hoodie questioned, getting into a fighting stance. Indeed, I did, Springtrap answered, almost casually. Their deaths were so satisfying. Why? Masky managed to say. I desire immortality, Springtrap declared, raising his axe high in the air. The monster charged at Hoodie and Masky, but they dodged before he was able to slam his weapon into one of them. Come on, Brian, we gotta get out of here, Masky exclaimed as they both ran out of a room and down the hall. The duo ran to the window while they broke to escape. They were dumbfounded when they saw the window was covered by wooden planks. What the fuck? Masky muttered, his eyes wide. I thought we broke that window, Hoodie said. We did, Masky confirmed. Hoodie suddenly falls to the floor. Masky looked down and screamed in horror. Springtrap's axe was embedded into the back of Hoodie's head. Masky trembled in fear as he fell to his knees, pulled out the axe from Hoodie's head, and tenderly held his head in his hands. No. Brian, wake up, he cried, tears stinging his eyes. What no one knows is that deep down, Tim cared about Brian. He never outright showed it, but he made sure that Brian was out of harm's way when things go awry. Masky heard Springtrap walking up to him. He lifts his head, staring into the monster's eyes. You know you're next, right? Springtrap asked. Masky's body vibrates in rage. He gently lays Hoodie's head on the floor and stands up. I'm not going down without a fight, he snarled. Oh? Well, I'm prepared to fight, Springtrap said, clenching his hands into fists. He swings at Masky, who dodges with relative ease. He was also able to block a few punches, and he even managed to land some hits on Springtrap. They soon get locked in a position where they have their hands locked together and staring into each other's eyes. Masky's luck ran out when he felt a knife stabbing into his spine. He shouts in pain. Springtrap uses this chance to sweep Masky off his feet, causing him to fall hard on the floor. Masky groans in agony as Springtrap picked up his axe. The monster looks down at the proxy. Say hi to your friends, he said mockingly. Masky tried to get away, but Springtrap quickly swung his axe down on his chest. He chokes on his blood as he phases in and out of consciousness. As he faded away, the last thing Masky saw was Springtrap laughing. The monster takes a deep breath in through his nose. Ah, fresh death. Springtrap looks up at the person who stabbed Masky. It was a female wearing a white rabbit suit with a blue bow on the chest, big red eyes, and a creepy smile with 2 buck teeth. Ah, hello, Vanny, Springtrap greeted. Hello, Springtrap. Vanny's voice sounded robotic. Thank you for giving me the leverage. Vanny nods. Where's Sparky? Springtrap asked. Right here. Springtrap turns around to see a more male-looking body wearing a dog costume with brown fur, dark blue overalls, floppy ears, ominous blue eyes, and smiles similar to Vanny's, except there was a complete row of pointy teeth. Ah, there you are, Springtrap said. Hello, Master. Sparky's voice was just as robotic as Vanny's. Vanny spoke up. Master, I think these humans could be of use to us. What do you mean by that? Springtrap asked. Sparky and I found a way to inject remnant into dead people and make them into your followers, Vanny explained. Very well. You and Sparky may try it out, Springtrap said. Vanny looks at Sparky and nods. Sparky took out 2 syringes filled with a strange black fog and hands them to Vanny. He then pulls out 2 more syringes with the same mist. Vanny injected remnant into Masky and Hoodie, while Sparky went to inject Kate and Toby. The remnant coursed through the proxies' bodies. Their skin formed small green cracks, and their eyes snapped open, revealing bright purple lights. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that part. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!